Another thing is state of public emergencies.
Okay.
Now you will remember in 2017.
Yes.
Yes, when there was the impasse.
Yes.
The National Assembly
yes.
passed a resolution that Gambia is in a state of public emergency.
Yes.
And that allows the president.
They wanted to extend his term.
Exactly.
Yes.
So whenever there's a state of public emergency because of war and other things, the president is given.
Even in terms of election, they can postpone elections.
Exactly. Yes. Now there is a process. When the state of public emergency exists, there's a process for how you can extend it, etc.
Okay.
But the law allows the Supreme Court. Someone can go to the Supreme Court to challenge the state of public emergency or the extension.
Okay.
That has been removed. The power of the Supreme Court to check the power of the executive has been removed. It has been removed.
So even if right now, if the occasion arises and the government or the president declared a state of emergency and said, okay, we have an emergency, we have to postpone the elections, the Supreme Court has no power now to counter-check that.
That's what they want. So if this draft passes,
if this draft passes now, the Supreme Court will now have no power, to counter-check what the executive feel is an emergency.
Exactly.
So that's a minus in terms of the powers of even the judiciary.
Yes. Now, while we're on the judiciary, I'll just jump ahead, which is I find very interesting.
Yeah.
So currently, under the current law, the judiciary is autonomous when it comes to finances. The judiciary submits through the judicial secretary.
Yeah.
Its finances, yes, and budget to Parliament. Under the draft 2024 Constitution,
yeah,
the judiciary will now submit it to the president, and it is the president that will submit it to Parliament.
Oh, before the Chief Justice and his people can submit their budget proposals to Assembly direct.
Yes.
But under this new draft, if passed, the Chief Justice and his people will have to take it to the President first.
Yes.
So what powers what has been reduced or deleted in the powers of the judiciary in this case? They are subject to control by the executive.
Or influence. So if the judiciary submits to Parliament, the judiciary can defend their budget.
Defend it in Parliament directly.
And because the judiciary is the third arm, equal branch of government. It is expected that they will then be able to be free to prepare their budget recommendations.
Yes.
And defend those budget recommendations
yes.
to the House of the People.
Yes.
But to submit it to the President,
yes.
who doesn't have the power to amend it,
yeah.
but the President will put his own recommendations
yes.
and suggestions and then submit it to Parliament.
So he can influence, he can have influence.
Certainly influence, yes.
And that will defeat the purpose of the, separation of powers.
Yes, so fundamentally, this draft, it undermines the separation of powers.
Yeah.
And again, the government has to explain why they believe that it's necessary.
That the judiciary budget has to go to the President first, before the National Assembly.
Exactly.